She's a, she said that she's a, what did you tell me the other day? You said you are a meat and potatoes girl. So she's definitely not, she's definitely not like me. It's like my wife makes me pretty much meat and potatoes all the damn time, but she goes to bring me vegetables and I'm like, I'm not a fucking rabbit. Take that shit somewhere. So,
Holly, I have all kinds of
best.
keto hacks for you if you want. PB&J, no problem. No problem.
I had to do keto for like a year because I had some real bad sores on my arms. So they were saying leaky gut, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And I cried like when I first had to go on it because I had to do pickles and salami and cream cheese for like 4 days, and I cried, and I almost I almost moved out because she ate my pickles. My wife ate my pickles.
You never have to just eat that, Holly. Holly, you never just have to eat that ever.
Yeah,
please
I locked
never
myself in the closet with the pickles left.
She sounds like me. It'd be like whenever I'm on a diet and someone goes and touches my shit in the refrigerator, I was like, motherfuckers, I only have so much shit I can eat.
Yeah.
And y'all go into my refrigerator, eat what I want. My wife, I'll get something. And my wife, I'll come in there to have it. And I was like, where's this at? Oh, I shared it with the children. And it's like, I got that for me. For me. They can eat whatever the hell they want. Not me. You know, and it's like, but it's funny. It's funny.
You never, you guys, keto, you never have to give up anything. That's the best thing about it.
I've done keto before. Problem is, I still I used to make fat bombs. These little fucking fat bombs.
The problem is you eat 10 of them.
So
but the problem is I'll eat 10 of them damn things.
Yeah.
You know, it's chocolate filled with fat, and I love it. I did intermittent fasting.
Because you ate all this fat bomb shit. Oh my God, no, I can't do that either.
So I don't want to bore everyone in here that's into CTR with keto stuff, but I intermittent fast all day, every day, 6 days a week. So I don't eat from 7 at night until until 4:30 the next day.
Oh no, I would want to take someone's head right off.
Only for the first 2 days, and then you're fine. And you'll see I'm drinking some thick black coffee right now, which is all good, which is a part of it. So
I actually used to love that stuff because I actually used to drink the coffee. I love the bulletproof coffee and stuff like that.
So good.
But I'm the same way. I mean, I'm not a nice person to be around when I first start my diet out.
Nobody is.
No.
Or it wouldn't be called diet, it'd be called life.
I'm just like bawling because I want my Ruffles or I want my PB&J.
That's my weakness too, Holly. I love chips. I would eat chips.
Yeah. And then I'll go around the house and I'll hide candy in different drawers so that Dawn, like when I on my diet, then I'll be like looking at me like, oh, here's a little piece of candy. I can sneak this, you know.
Yeah. I see Ken here like looking at us like we're crazy because he's all thin and in shape, just making me ill.
There was a kid in class when I took web design and graphics, and this dude was probably all of 90 pounds wet, and he could sit there and eat whatever the hell he wants. I'm like, I could walk by pizza and smell it and gain 10 pounds. Yeah. It was like, I couldn't believe it, man. But I'm also to say, if I'm strict on my diet, I lose weight like that.
Yeah.
And the same thing when I start working out, because I used to bodybuild and do power training and stuff like that. So whenever I start lifting weights, I get strong like an ox real fast.
I don't doubt it. Oh, there's Don right there. Don's now in the group. But
Mr. Michael Merlino decided to pop his head in here. I'm gonna mute him now. Tell him Holly's in here. You took too damn long. Trying to find him. Oh, let's see. Asked to start video. Where are you at, Mr. Merlino? You disappeared on me again. There you are. Asked to unmute. Yo. I'm trying to find you. You keep jumping all over the place here.
Really, Mike. Your camera is tight tonight, Mike. Huh? Good.
You leveled up.
Your mic is tight. Your mic is tight. You're looking all like high def.
That's what I did. I done went and got myself a DSL. Once I get moved out to my studio this weekend, it's going game on, motherfuckers. How you doing, Michael?
He's
You
muted.
about unmute, Michael. You ready, Michael? You there? You can't hear her. Just trying to figure it out. So I'm gonna let these guys go ahead. Yeah, we do it normally. It's just like today is CTR in GMB. Monday's me, Tuesday is Lane with press release, Wednesday CTR Geeks, and all we do is talk about CTR. So if y'all have questions, ask your questions regarding CTR manipulations, anything from the tools we use, etc., different methods, and just GMB in general.
Since I'm in company of the Queen, I would love to ask Holly what she does for.
Oh Lord, there comes that Queen name again.
Yeah. Listen, it's 100% like 100% respect. That was no anything other than respect.
I don't know
Totally.
who came up with that Queen.
Well, there's not many women in this game.
Whoever did, though.
There's not many women in this game, so you have to be crowned. You might as well be crowned queen. But I would love to know from you what your opinion is on CTR manipulation and amount of traffic sent.
You want me to say now, or you want me to wait till you get rolling, and then I kind of like to listen to what other people think it is.
She likes listening to what
I'll
other
kinda
people
come in and
thinks it
bomb
is.
your
She
thoughts.
comes in and bombs your thoughts is what she
Well, I
likes
know,
to
but
do.
that's where we should start. We should start with Holly because she does it like straight up, like gangster phone. Like how many calls are you making? Like what's your formula? I'd love to know.
So like with the cell phones, so I mean there's so many different ways to do CTR, right? The for GMB is the best and most successful campaigns I've had is with cell phones. So I have several hundred cell phones, but I don't take several hundred on a drive with me, right? So I will take the golden number is 12. So if you take 12 phones with you on every drive, and it needs to be an iPhone, because Android phones are just too smart. I don't make actually any phone calls because they're connected to one hotspot generally. So you can't, unless you're into a Wi-Fi call, but then when you start dealing with calling the companies, it becomes a fence because you can't use cell phones like that because you have a persona. So you kind of have to. The moral is I don't use the phones to call, so I just use it for driving basically.
Searches.
And I always
like
take
searches
12.
and traffic guard.
Yeah, so I take 12 day 1, day 2 I take the same 12 plus a new 12. Day 3 I take the 2 12s from the day before and then a new set of 12. So every day is 12.
So ultimately 3 days is 36 phones, 12 searches per phone, or one search per phone every day.
Yeah.
So 36 searches to whatever your target is.
Yeah.
So you literally don't have any concern about previous traffic or the niche related traffic for the day.
No. You mean like other people coming to the site?
No, I mean if historically you've got 6 months of data and that company got, or that niche got 100 clicks or direct traffic checks, you don't care, right?
No, I don't care at all. Even if I did it at the only time we would care is if it was like an event like like say Vikings versus Packers. I wouldn't do it for something like that with only 12 phones. But like restaurants, towing companies, mold companies, almost every single GMB company I've done is 12 phones. regardless of
so
what traffic they get.
yeah, so what you're saying is if you can generate an event before, so if you put out a press release, then you would drive up, you don't care about traffic because Google will understand that there's already some other situation that's driving traffic,
Yeah.
or potential. And then if you have no event, then your 12 or 36 really is what you're saying over 3 days.
Yeah, because after 3 days, the organics should start kicking in because your ranking should raise at least to the number 3 spot. So then, you know, like when I leave on the 5th day, I don't have to come back because organic kicks in. So even if they had organic and they're at number 3, I still only take 12 phones, and I don't care about what that search term is. If they get 50 searches a day, I don't care about any of that because I know I use the cell phones, and my mileage coming in, you know, like day 1, we do a mile out, day 2, we do 3 miles out, day 3, we do 4 miles, day 5, we'll do 6 miles, and then the last day, usually 10 miles. So it's never, you know, we start very, very close, and then we back it off. So I think that's probably why it works so well, is that we're searching from all different areas. And I mean, I've never cared about search volume on anything.
I love it. So quickly, for everyone that didn't write that down, I'm sorry, but we can end the call now because you all are educated. That was brilliant. You, in my opinion, and the way I like to run things, you just killed it. That's. I mean, I hope everyone wrote that down. I love the moving out. We can now take questions. I'm now satisfied. I'm totally satisfied today. My day is now clear, and I was having a rough day.
And Michael's about to relax for everybody.
It's my boy right there, taking care of business.
Gotta get right.
Gotta get right.
You told him when
Thank
you
you,
were
Holly,
on,
by the way.
when you were on the phone with that damn bank, you should have rolled one up. They about had him pissed off and
Oh,
everything.
yeah, I smoked a couple during that whole. That was during the wake and bake hours, so you already know.
Yeah, I was like, that's what I just told you. I was like, man, I don't tell them I don't give a shit. Just do what they got to do, you know. Let's see here. All right, everybody have some questions. Let me see what we got. We got a bunch of questions popping in here.
Oh,
So.
and I was letting y'all talk and rolling up, but Holly, what's good?
Let's see here. She muted, so nope.
Okay.
She's there. Let's see here. 5 a.m. in my country. Scott says, hello, Holly, how you been? Patrick asked about my scale, my agency class. I've changed the times, and I'm actually, if I haven't posted it or haven't had my VA posted in the group, I will be posting it. It's going to start next Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it's going, and we're going to switch it to 10 p.m. I believe. Excuse me. Pacific Coast time, it'll be about 10 p.m. I believe, because I'm switching some things up. I'm trying to get all the classes in my time of the day and get some Pacific Coast, East Coast, Mid Coast type classes, not just all on East Coast time. Ken said fat bombs may be fat, Mr. Brent. Yeah, that's true.
That's true, man. That's because you eat too many of them.
I can't just eat one. It's like giving someone a bag of Doritos.
It's like chips.
Leah Lou, hey Brent, it's Don Seiler. If you unmute, I can talk.
I was talking with Don earlier today. He's got a great strategy. He's going to build out some heights. Just I don't know the area, but anyway, he's got a great strategy. So if you have any questions, please drop them in. Everything.
Mr. Ray's was saying he wants some strategies for CTR to mass page sites.
Yeah, Mike, can you help me with that one? I don't have much experience with mass page.
That's the do I want to share this shit or not? Yeah. So yeah, it's not my method. You know what I mean? But Vin, you know the answer to that, dog. With the pretty links rotating, but you know you'll cap to 20 URLs per pretty link on the pro. But that's one thing you can do. Another, I haven't tested this much, but when I was testing it, you know, take the URL of the mass page site, throw in a screaming frog, grab all the URLs, take those URLs, throw it on a Google site or a Tumblr or a blog post, and then throw that into the Viper and send CTR to it. There's a couple of ways. It's a bit more challenging depending on the size of the site, of course, but the simplest way would be, it depends. One of those two ways is the way I would go about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do Viper, make sure that you block out all the unnecessary links in the page, or you're going to lose your CTR. The only thing I would add.
Yeah, correct. I kind of skipped over that. We assuming what tool you're using, you know, make sure you blacklist the URLs you want. I use a Chrome extension called Link Gopher, so that when I get on whatever site I want that I need all the links, I click that Chrome extension. It gives you all the links. Then you can clean up what you need to from there and put it in your blacklist box on the Viper. Good point, Brent.
If it's gonna be 300,000 posts,
Oh yeah, I have no idea how to deal with that.
What's your indexing plan, my man? Because you're gonna have a problem 6 weeks in.
That's gonna be something that big. I wouldn't even mess with. I would have no advice for that.
Yeah, like that would be crazy setting up for a CTR.
Yeah, it would be. I wouldn't even.
I mean, you could do like CTR with like exploits to them. That would be the quickest way is to do comments to those pages, but 300,000, you're gonna get an indexing problem.
Are big sites like that? Is anybody in here even trying to do that anymore? Because I'm not a mass page guy, but from what I know, that shit been long dead for a while. It's like smaller sites, multiple smaller sites that seem to work better.
There's tricks to it, but you can't go out and do 300,000 in a day.
Understood.
You
got to build up to that.
Yeah, like 50 to 100 a day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have done at most 300 in a day, and they stay indexed, but like we don't necessarily have to do CTR to our mass pages because we're focusing on KGR, which they'll rank right away. So if you pick your right keywords, your CTR on some of that stuff isn't going to matter.
Correct.
Holly, your mass stuff is all news, though, no? Is that correct?
Yeah, it's all news.
Yeah.
That's why it stays indexed.
Yeah. So that's indexed. So if you're not doing news, and I think really what we're talking about is just mass amount of campaigns you would have to have, no matter what tool you use. But if you were running just, you know, to one property, I don't know why you would ever do that, but let's say you're running one property and you're running one link, and you only have 5 or 6 different links or keywords you're trying to run, you could run it to that. It didn't matter where it would go through. But I don't think the equity for the work is worth it.
Yeah, not on something that was not on something that's small like that. I mean, if his keywords were, it always goes back to the keywords. If his keywords are easy to rank for, he shouldn't be having to use so much CTR on it. So if he's doing 10 pages, those 10 pages should rank right away. So I don't know if you would really want to do CTR on a mass page. Not something like 300,000.
That's why Holly said right there.
And then to further that even more, right? Like if you're doing a mass page, it's probably assuming this is for a local business, right? Assuming, then it's a lot of neighborhood pages, a lot of location pages, right? Those pages don't get no traffic probably a month, or maybe very little. So you start sending traffic to a bunch of those pages on your site, that might not send the right signal to Google. Like, and again, like Holly said, it's not necessary. You should be able to rank those pretty easily.
Yeah.
But all that
I mean,
stuff
you would
being
have to
set
have
out.
like, you'd have to have like hundreds of servers set up to do a 300,000 page site. Like, even for me, and I can scale, I would be like, yeah, I would make sure that I have a few, my ROI would have to be there before I set up all that shit.
All of that being said, Alvin is a good partner of ours, and I know that that action is going to help us. So you keep testing, buddy. You just keep testing.
Patrick wants to know, he says, Holly, what iPhones do you use, loaded with which iOS and which apps?
So my phones are, I use them for different things, right? So when I first started buying, I bought 4s. 4s and 5s are used for my podcast clients. 6s and 7s are used for my traffic clients. My Android clients are, I don't have that many Android clients. I fired them all because I hate Android phones. I have Android network set up, but like you have to pay me a lot of money to switch over. In other words, I hate Android, so I'm not going to do it. So yeah, it's all iPhones. 4 and 5, they don't get updated, so they're good for podcast. 6 and 7s can be updated, so that's why I use them for traffic.
Holly, again, I'm going to be really selfish here, but I hope we can talk another time, not here, because I have great questions about podcasts. I'd love to know more about it.
Oh my God, there's so much money to be made in the podcast space. Like I'm in, I don't know, I think 25 podcast Facebook groups, and people are always wanting to be in trending and always wanting to get subscribers and ratings. And I'm like, dude, it only takes me half an hour and I only need to do 10 a day. And you're going to be in trending in a week. So I mean,
so I really hope we can talk. My wife has the 25th
Yeah.
biggest podcast in Instagram for
nice.
keyword
Okay.
Instagram. Yeah. So I'd love to talk about that sometime, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, next question.
Yo, Will, I have a question.
Yeah.
I want to take a dab, right? But I'm probably gonna choke really loud. So how could I mute myself, but then unmute myself when I want, so everybody don't gotta hear me?
You can unmute yourself. I got it where everybody can unmute themselves.
Oh,
now.
all right, bet. Good looking, my bad. Because last time I did that shit, I was quiet for 17 minutes. Like, I'm trying to get back in, but I'm locked out.
Yeah, man.
You slay me, man.
He's a trip. Chris said that we should start with brand traffic first. How to calculate the amount of brand traffic if you're going to calculate brand traffic.
For GMBs?
He actually went over it with GMBs it's not as easy as if you were going to Google Analytics or Google Search Console, but he did go over that.
That's right.
How to, it keeps rolling. Sorry about that. How to start, if you're starting with brand traffic or brand name traffic first, how do you calculate the amount of brand traffic? It's different than keyword traffic because you're not really going to find it most of the time unless you're a well-known brand. Chris, if you really want to ask Chris Adon, Chris is actually going to be on tomorrow. He's on every Thursday now, so.
And Holly will be on to argue with him about it because I know what his answer is going to be. And my answer is going to be like, no, dude, that's not right.
I was just about to say the same thing, Holly. Holly just answered that question.
Have you done any tests with no branded? Oh, I guess you just answered that question too, right? Because you don't even, you skipped the branded. I'm actually testing one. I'm testing one right now where I started going with the branded. The GMB wasn't doing anything at all. It was very weird, which I found out was because Yelp didn't index it. Yelp, like Brent has said many times, having your Yelp page indexed, making sure it's live, not that they're waiting to talk to you, right? Got to be live. Is huge for the GMB. I mean, huge. 2 days after that shit was indexed, boom, first 2 calls came in one day. But anyway, my test was I slowed down because I thought I was going too crazy with the branded, not that I was going heavy. And I really almost deaded the branded and just bumped up the keywords because I'm testing with this one, and it kicked in. So I've always been a firm believer, or always said, you know, start with branded. But I'm eager to test a couple other things, because if it's not needed, man, that's great. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have branded traffic, right? Because if it's long-term play, Google loves entities right now, right? They like businesses. So you want your branded traffic in there for sure. But if you're talking about churn and burn, lead gen, you know, man, listen, just send the traffic, test it out.
All right. So
What is
let's go to the
branded
next.
traffic? Branded traffic is the name of the GMB, and you send traffic with that name, like Nope, Not Today LLC. What if that was the brand name? You want to send traffic saying Nope, Not Today, Nope, Not Today LLC. That would be branded traffic. So Google gets to know your brand. No
Right,
problem.
let's see. Hey guys, this is new to me. So we're talking about 12 iPhones, taking them on daily drives, starting at maybe 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles, then using the search of the keywords you're trying to rank for the GMB. Is that correct? Then from the GMB to the website, is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, when I go, I usually bring someone with me, so they're driving and I'm doing the cell phone, so it's not all direct, you know, like say I'm sitting at McDonald's, they're all not coming from McDonald's, they're coming like every, you know, might be every 30 seconds, every 2 minutes, whatever the search is. Because otherwise you see 12 people coming from McDonald's to a towing company, which would be weird. So you gotta kind of think of what Google wants to see and what they would suspect to see. So we might go from like McDonald's to Walgreens, and then take, you know, 3 phones to Walgreens, 3 phones next door to another pharmacy or whatever. So it is very involved when you're doing cell phones, which is why I don't usually have any competition, because nobody it'd be insane enough to have that many phones with them. But yeah, that's the general process.
And that person said that they're new to this, so I would highly recommend, do not go trying to mimic what she's doing.
No.
Just learn basic traffic first, and see
Yeah.
if you work your way up to that.
Holly's next level, people.
Let's see. What are we calling a what is a mass page site?
I think we kind of covered that, but I don't know what it technically, but a big ass site,
Mass site
hundreds of
means
pages,
hundreds of pages,
or thousands,
It's a-
hundreds
yeah,
or
it's a-
thousands.
It's
You
an
know.
automated system that can make pages. I don't even know, are they duplicate? They're not really duplicate, no duplicate pages, but it builds it en masse. So, you know, anywhere from 50 to 100 to
Imagine if
1,000
you're
a
going
day.
to take location, if you're going to do location pages and you wanted to create relevancy on the entire United States or in the entire state of Florida, and you did it for every city, every county, every nook and cranny of the entire state, and you wanted to talk about, let's say, towing, that's a mass page site. You know, so
Would you agree there's 2 different mass pages? There's mass page that would be just about a niche, and then there would be what Holly does.
Yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Holly, but it's news, and news is different, completely different, because everything runs on a very short cycle, and you're trying to put niches in that cycle so that they get the back end of the news authority, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, you can build anything on the back of a Google News site. Like mass pages back in 2014 is not what we would consider as mass pages today. Like I think my biggest site in 2014 was probably 25 million URLs. You can't do that now. Now it's like,
God.
yeah, it's like building 50 a day. Before we would build probably easily like 500,000 a day, and they would get indexed right away. So it's mass page today is not mass page it was, but it's actually I think mass pages are easier to work with today than they were.
That's interesting. It's saturated now for sure, right?
Yeah.
Put 300K URLs in a buffer site, push traffic at that. I'm testing Omega Indexer right now. It's 50 posts a day.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, depending on what platform you're building on, but the most that I've done is 327 a day, and they are indexed still, and I did those in October of last year, and they're still running now.
So Peter, you're saying, okay, is this GME Masterclass Reloaded where beginners are located and this stuff sounds very advanced? This is not, okay, GMB Reloaded is not just basic shit. So Monday I do basic shit, which is, hey, here's how we're going to take this website and get it ranked, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3. Tuesday is Lane, which is press releases. Day 3 is advanced CTR shit, so y'all could get your feet wet. And day, number 4 is going to be Chris Palmer, who drops, golden nuggets on GMB all the time. You can consider it basic or advanced, whatever. Friday is going to be, if you will, how to take and to scale your agency, how to get more clients, how to get more leads, etc. And we do this for 6 weeks, and then every 6 weeks or however long it takes to rank that website. And once it's ranking, dominating the 3-pack in about a 20-mile radius, we move on and do another website. So hopefully that answers your questions. If you want the basic shit and you're a GMB pro, go back to GMB Masterclass replays, and that's basic before. I don't have nobody but GMB classes on that one. Patrick, it's CTR, yeah. But even if it's advanced, okay, you're considering it advanced. I'm the type would actually tell you, I would say don't do it on any properties you care about if you're wanting to learn. But if you don't care and you don't care if it dies or blows up in your face, try, get something that you can test CTR out on. If you want to test it out and learn, that's the only way you're going to learn is by testing, unless you want to pay someone to do it. Steve says this is a great place to learn. Will is very helpful. Everybody in here is helpful. So I've learned everything, a lot from everybody. So still learning. So I ask everybody questions all the time. So Tony, exactly. Patrick says he's taking notes and will ask about things I don't understand. Holly, do you use age Gmail accounts, and do you do special things to set up the profiles?
I'm guessing the profiles for the phones he means. So I buy, you have to buy iClouds for Apple phones. So I buy the iClouds. They all have their own persona. They all have a photo. They all have a YouTube account. All have a Gmail. They're all in different states and different cities. The emails, they're aged a little bit from I think they're 2012 or 2014 maybe. But yeah, it's on each phone that I have a sticker on the back of it that says like what number it goes to, which hotspot, and then what state it is in. So because I live really close to Illinois, so my Illinois clients want my Illinois phones more or less.
So let's see here. It says Patrick says, think of this session as listening to the gods on a Mount Olympus.
And the queen. Let me say the queen is here too.
Well,
Hey, and none of us have abs. Hey, there's not an ab in this
and I
whole
told
group.
someone yesterday, I said, listen, Holly has more balls than any man in SEO that I know of. So y'all could fuck yourself. So let's see. Tony says laughing my ass off. Patrick, Chris, and Holly will be fun. Yeah, I forgot Holly. Yeah, that Chris was going to be on yesterday. That's why I was like, well, shit, we'll just have them both on. Chris is going to be on. I talked to him. He'll be on every Thursday. Holly, the plan with her is at least every 2 weeks. And then it's except whenever she has things come up and stuff, because she's very, very busy. But it's an honor just to even Bill have her on. So yes, sir. Golden Nuggets. Patrick, Michael, how do we get our GMB live on Yelp?
I love he'll answer in a second. He'll answer in a second.
I ought to take a screenshot and make that fucking meme.
Yo, Brent, man, that's why you're supposed to come in to answer that one for me. Oh shit, man.
I hate Yelp. I literally hate Yelp. I hate it. So
Just
it's up
when
to
you put the listing through, you got to take one phone call with them basically and let them just to verify. They're gonna try to push ads on you, right? But you have to kind of do that to get it live, unless someone else knows a workaround. But what I do is I always just act like the small somebody just trying to start a business. I have no marketing money. I don't even know how I'm gonna build a website. You know, if the website's well, the website usually is built, but sometimes it's not because you want to get your Yelp listing early on in the GMB life, let's just say. So you gotta have to take a call. And if you haven't received an email or a call from your account manager, then just be aggressive and call them and say, hey, I really want to get my listing up. How do I verify? And don't ever do paid ads. Just get the free account.
Patrick says branded means combine the keyword plus the brand. And branded is just a straight keyword. Branded plus keyword is totally different.
Yeah, that's different. Branded plus keyword that's a way to introduce keywords. Also another way to try to make your knowledge panel pop for that keyword within certain proximity.
Yeah, I know that's what Chris does, and I believe month 2. Month 1 is just brand.
Yeah, and that definitely works for sure. Like branded plus keyword plus branded. Like you can test before you start doing it in your area, right? And if you don't pull your knowledge panel, then once you start doing the traffic and you see the knowledge panel come up, then you just start hitting that with all your keywords. Just want Google to associate your entity, your business, with as many keywords in locations as possible. That's the goal.
Do we
Go ahead. Sorry.
Do we all know what entities are? Like entities are, or knowledge panels are keywords that bring up its own panel. So in plumbing, you'll have a wrench and a wrench will come up. And if you can get URLs, if you go into the, it's too deep to go into now, but right click, go into source data, find the URLs that are based there and use those in your post, then you're linking entities based on your niche. And that's really it's very, yeah. So anyway,
it's one of the things we talk about whenever we're building out this website with the content, the images, everything that I'm going to do on it. I'm going to try to associate as much of this knowledge graph, the LRD, the CID, the Lucid ID, all that shit, all the wicked data, all that stuff. I'm going to try to get associated with that towing site as an entity, because I want to show Google that this site right here is the #1 motherfucker in Sydney that has to do with towing, whether it's a towing truck, a towing company, a towing belt, a towing chain, everything it has to do with towing. I want that website to be linked to, and I use images, etc., based on wiki data and wiki information and everything else that I can. So
yeah, I have a question. So if you're going to do that, you are going to search from that area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you were just, yeah.
No, I use it from that area. I use BlueStacks to do it.
Yeah. So everybody in the group, when you're looking to do those things, you want to make sure that you're getting the Google results from the actual search area, not, we're all worlds apart. I'm in Canada.
And you could sit here and try to go and use, incognito. That shit don't matter. I actually want to be in that fucking city and using, a search engine from that city, so.
Yeah, I agree.
At least that's how I do it. So does the timing of the search, go ahead, Holly.
Do you link to, do I want to say this? Is this going up to YouTube?
Whatever you want to say, I want to hear.
Whatever you want to say, this does not go on YouTube. So
okay. Sorry, I asked that question a lot.
It's not public on YouTube. Basically, it's private listed on YouTube. The only way anybody will ever get this video is if someone in the actual course shares it. So
okay. Do you link to the search result when you're doing stacks?
Yes.
Like where you would go to Google, you type in let's say McDonald's Cleveland, and then after that you would type in towing blah blah blah, the brand, and then you link to that search.
That's one way I do it. That's if you go onto, for instance, if you go up to the top of this is one way I do it. So if you go onto the top of that sod installation website I show off a lot, the very top where it says write a review, that review link, if you actually click on it, is a Google search, which is then tied to the Lucid ID and LRD. So they're doing a Google search for it, and they're pulling up that actual, CID and that
Okay.
entity. Because I'm trying to, this is where I talk about, if you will, redirects and stuff like that for CTR manipulation. So
Yeah, that search it's a nice little hack that you can
Yeah.
do without having to be in that city.
And that used to work. I mean, man, like I don't know how long ago, but a while ago, like literally, if you just grabbed that and manipulated the URL with the neighborhood you wanted with the keyword, and then send just direct traffic to it, like
Yeah.
boom, proximity. That's the main reason that I was blowing proximity out the way I was, which does not work anymore like that at all. Like
we're actually trying
for
some
me,
things.
for me.
My boys are trying some things with some CTR and some proximity stuff with Holly's network. So basically, we're doing a bunch of name, address, phone number, keywords, map embeds. We're not just doing a quote unquote blog press release. It was like, try everything you can think of under the sun, see what works, and then we'll stick with that. So, because all of our clients are getting Holly's, we give them backlinks to the Google site. So, Ducasio, Holly is definitely next level. Is Holly clicking on directions for the GMB?
Yeah, so you go to Google, you type in towing Cleveland, find the GMB, click the GMB, click on directions, make sure you're logged into Google when you're doing it. Drive there. I spend about 10 minutes. Once I'm there, I'm clicking around on their GMB and their photos and shit like that, taking pictures and whatever, uploading that stuff. And then I leave a 5-star. I don't leave a text review. I mean, I just leave a 5-star. I'm like, they should be happy with a 5-star. I don't really care about the text. 5-star will stick. That's why I do those.
That's interesting.
Magic Page plugin is a great, as someone's mentioned it, Patrick, great for creating mass pages. And yes, that is one of them. Do you use mass pages in combination with your Google News sites, Holly?
Yeah, so like all of my Google News sites have mass page on the back end of it. So like I have one that's, I think it's called Swimming Pools Daily or something, Swimming Pool News or something. And then we have a tab called Places We Service. And then on that Places We Service is a mass page. So all of the mass pages are on the tab, essentially.
Sorry about that. Just talking to my son. He came in here. All right, Brent and Merlino CTR course. It's supposed to launch in mid-October, right?
Like
Y'all-
everything.
I think that's somebody just being, that's
they
just
put-
somebody being funny.
They postpone all the time. I've been begging them to come out with a GMB fucking course. I need a vacation.
We're trying to keep up with our clients right now. Trying to keep up with our
You know what
clients.
we call that? Motherfucking excuse.
100%. Listen, if I had a small army like you, then I would have no excuses. So I need to build an army. I've got an army of one. I've got Merlino.
I actually hire, I do provide VAs. So if you want a VA, all you gotta do is say, hey, I need a VA, and they're
We've
trained in
lost you
everything.
10 times.
You just say I need a VA. It's $300 for 40 hours, and they're trained in everything we do. The only thing I don't train my VAs and will not let them do is GMB verification. That's the only thing I won't let them do.
Well, that's good news right there. Didn't we ask him, Merlino? Didn't we
Yeah,
ask this question months ago?
This is something new that came
This
about.
is new.
Oh, really? It's been on my damn website
I'm
for like
serious.
months. You hear this, Holly?
Listen,
We
we
asked
don't get RSS feeds every time you update that thing. I remember one time I went back on there, I said, holy shit, that shit went from like 5 services to 55.
And I'm building out another agency site. I bought a I bought a premium domain name to, I'm not going to say it, but basically to shut someone's mouth. And it's specifically about white label, and I'm specifically starting a YouTube channel about white label SEO services to put my foot on someone's neck.
You know they found out, right?
Oh, you mean JJ?
Yeah.
That's totally different.
Oh,
Yeah,
is it? Okay.
Yeah, that's totally different. What's funny with that, he goes, well, it took it down because of this. And I told him, no, took it down because that bitch is being moved over to Russia, motherfucker. But nevertheless, I talked to certain people, say just, I keep my mouth shut. I keep doing what I'm doing. And I was actually talking to Chris about that last time. I'm not worried about little peanuts, because whatever, it is what it is. I tell them all the time, it is what it is. People going to talk, let them talk,
Well, they'll be competing if you're going after white label SEO in particular. They'll be competing with Austin. Just an FYI, Austin's buying
awesome.
built-
I love it.
Yeah,
Go
he's
for it.
building a
I'll
site.
partner up with his ass. I would
Yeah,
be
he
like,
just-
Austin,
Yeah.
message me, Austin. I just literally bought a certain person that said, well, when I'm sitting up in my 20,000 square foot mansion, thought I was talking about him because if you didn't know it, he's the greatest white label SEO company that God ever graced us with. And I went, because he started running his lip about my wife on JJ, which most people know about, which I won't use their names or nothing, but I went and bought myself a premium domain name for white label SEO. And he only has, I think, about 10,000 words of content on it. I dropped about 60,000 words of content on every fucking name, every service he provides, everything he ever has. So we're going to outrank him on that easily. We're going to go live with it probably this upcoming week, and our SEO packages, all that shit. So things are about to get real interesting in that department. But we're starting a YouTube channel on it as well.
Yeah, Austin messaged me late last night and he was like, Mom, I think I'm going to go after white label SEO. I was like, all right, just don't.
Oh, I'll message him. I said, let's do it.
I'm like, you got to build it. I'll help you with it, but this is going to be your baby because I can't take on another project at least for another couple months.
I have it built out already, and I'm literally going to drop it this week. I'm just waiting on the home page to be done. Once that thing is done, dropping that shit because, and I'm only doing it because of that little, whatever down in Florida or Ohio. I'm sorry. Ohio, California, wherever he wants to place himself at. But whatever. Where are the abs, bros? I don't have abs. Never have abs. I'm in shape. It's called round. Rounds of shape. Even when I did powerlifting, I was not quote unquote thin with abs and all that shit, but I could, warm up with 450 deadlifts. So my squat, whenever I warmed up, was around 400 pounds. So, and that's the average on someone's, last set. I think I heard Michael choke. Yeah, he chokes a lot. He chokes. It's all right. We're going to make a meme. One day he's going to be here choking on that shit. I'm going to make a meme out of it. Here he goes. I'm waiting.
On demand. Yo, I was looking around because the view I had on, I don't really see many people's cameras. So the people that did have cameras on, I wanted to shout them out. Vin, you don't count because you already like family, dog. Hello, Greg, Derek, Linnell. I'm sorry if I chopped your name up. Mr. Yates, Valerie, what's up? Ken, hello. Nice to see you. I didn't even notice there was so many people in here. Nice to see everybody, especially those with cameras. Docasio, ¿qué pasó?
Been kicking about 50 people on these lately. So thanks for the explanation, William, about this course. This is the first week you've been able to routinely watch. So if you're a pro, I would tell you to go back to GME Masterclass. That's the first one I ever did. The last Reloaded is a really good one. And then this one's going to be the best one we've done so far. But Patrick, but how do you do that? Do you use the tool to pretend to be in the city? I use BlueStacks, and I actually did a video about it inside of my channel. If you want me to do another one, just drop me a message and I'll show you all how I do it. This does not go on YouTube. So what I do is anything that I ever do does go on YouTube, but it's set to private. Okay, because I have to have a place to load the videos, and then I load the videos there, put them as private, and then I put them on the back end of rankfortressacademy.com. The only way that they'll ever get shared is if someone in this damn group shares them. Which I do know I have people that, whatever. William, I don't remember that you use any special to pretend to be in that city. It is called BlueStacks. It's a gaming software. And I use the location changer. It's a GPS emulator to do some things. So, and that's what I use to do reviews and pictures and some other stuff.
I use GS.
Yeah,
GS
location changer. Patrick, Holly, can you use an iPhone emulator on a PC and pretend to be in a location when you search so you don't have to actually drive anywhere?
No, you have to physically drive. If you're using an Android phone, you can use a GPS emulator. It works pretty good, so you can use that. But iPhones are really good. They've locked down a lot of the GPS stuff. So
this is what I was saying before. I was like saying I never say that the phones don't work. It's just try to do it for 300 fucking clients all over the galaxy, and I can't do that.
You'd be flying everywhere.
Now, if I have someone that's in Texas and Holly says, I'm going to Texas, I'm going to say, Holly, can you do some CTR? I mean, it's just, duh. So Steve, so if your VAs can write content, backlinks, etc., do they give a weekly update? Yes. So if you message me, Steve, on my email, or not my email, I'm sorry, submit a support ticket. Rankfortress.com, top right says support, submit a support ticket. I'll send you the link to talk to my right-hand man Fernell, and he'll get you set up with the VA. Essentially, you send us a list of what you want done. They do them, and we have our own VA time clock, take screenshots, all that shit. And then once the 40 hours is up, we let you know, hey, 40 hours up, you want another 40, it's $297. That's on discount because it's normally like $500. So if you're and then let's go, Patrick. Williams on fire, always improving. Yeah, I always try to do that. So same thing. It's like I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I fuck up. If you're looking for someone perfect, you might as well look somewhere else. So I figure, Patrick, I figure you're a powerhouse. Lulu, there's no time for drama, only domination. That is a fact, Can Viper help with driving directions and CTRs?
It's always worked for me.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Yeah. So it's always worked for me. So
hold on. You skipped my favorite comment.
I haven't even. I'll go back.
Yep, you just skipped it because I'm sitting here waiting. Says
sharing
shit. That's
sharing
a death
shit.
sentence.
That's a death sentence. Yeah.
What the fuck is he talking about? Like, what we here to do? Share. It's a Q&A. So I don't understand what's he talking about.
Because what happens? If they share a tactic, then it's a death sentence, and this is one of the number one reasons I have people get pissed off at me.
Outside the group. Oh yeah, facts. Yeah,
there are some things I still won't share. It's like CP asked me, for instance, if you want to really get down to why certain people pissed off, because most of the big terms, like try to go after local SEO expert or local SEO course, I crush everybody's necks, including Patel's, but I won't tell anybody how I'm doing it. And it's part of, a secret little sauce. I give everybody everything, but I can't give them every damn thing. So communications, if I do SEO from the same VPN day after day, does it hurt? I don't even use a VPN. I'm sitting over here in Philippines and I don't use a VPN. I don't use a VPN.
Don't do SEO from a VPN, bro. Unless it's very light social media work. Buy proxies.
Yeah, and me and Michael talk about this. We don't use proxies. We don't use none of that shit. It's too much fucking work.
I ain't gonna lie, I use proxies.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying.
yeah,
I'm saying because people
for you,
people,
but your proxy bill would be like $5K a month or more, because I'm paying hundreds a month just for 15 GMBs. But I would not use a VPN too much. Just be careful with that.
Peter says the references to Viper. Is that a communication app? That is a automated CTR tool. If you want more information about that, go directly to Brent or Michael. Okay. Will, why are you not sharing? Because I can't share everything. It's can't. What am I not sharing? Yep, not sharing everything.
Plus, let me help Will out a little bit, right? All things being real, he just said, this is what has me on top of everybody, including Neil Patel, right? The man makes his money by doing what? Doing what he does, right? So, like, how do you really expect him to share that? Then everybody he shares it with could take him off number one, or he got to fight extra hard to be where he's already at. Like, be realistic, you know what I mean?
I got Williams back too, so
yeah, I do too. Like Brent has learned, William has learned, I've learned you never share everything. You never share your goals. You keep that close to your heart. You don't tell your best friends. That makes you money, and then when it breaks, that's when you want to break. Okay, then I'll share it.
We talked about it a couple of weeks ago about how if you don't actually take action, you can sit in these classes and we can all share, what worked for us or what is working for us, and you don't take action, but then you just talk about what works for us and you don't take action, well, then it just gets watered down. And then all of a sudden it doesn't work for us.
That's the biggest problem. It's not even that the tactic I use isn't out there. It's most people don't implement. Right. Implementation is the number one thing. It's like, who in the fuck is going to get in their car and travel all the way, what was it, to California to win a fucking contest? That is like some next level crazy shit. Oh, I know, but I'm like, most people,
you drove
99.9% won't do that. It was, remember, I think it's Craig and Chris and Holly had a contest, and basically she drove all the way to California to win.
Vegas, right?
Okay, so I would never go, yeah, Holly, I think let's do a contest. No, fuck that. Fuck it.
Yeah. She's taking action, people.
Because it's implementation. Most people are not going to do it. You can literally, and I've learned in my agency class, okay, I teach someone step one how to do this, step two how to do this, and all the way through. And I've already said this, like my boy Jason, in 1 week of working with, he banked 15K, doubled up his freaking agency, and then taught him some other things, and he already made it. And he lives in South Africa. 15K is like a year's income, and he's already, he's growing his rank and rent, his agency, and everything else on top of it. But most people fail to implement. You can tell them, hey, do this on YouTube, step 1, step 2, step 3. I was always told to do those things, and I never started doing it probably till maybe May-ish of this year. Now it's clicking.
That all being said, you guys have all taken the first step. You're here.
Yep.
So listen, like, this is my humble opinion, but listen to what Holly has to say. Listen to what William has to say. Listen to what Chris has to say. Listen to Merlino. We're all going to give you 90%. We've just discussed it, what we know. But I think there's probably 5% overlap that if you're willing to take the time to listen and really try this stuff, we're giving you that extra 10%, probably not knowing it, but that's how I've learned. I've learned by listening to all the greats. And, there's a ton of drama in this world, which is crazy because there's 5 or 6 or 10 or 12 people that are all fighting for the top spot. And it's very public and it's very out there. And we're all in that age where we didn't grow up this way. But all of that being said, is if you listen and really implement what's going on and not realize that we said something in 10 seconds that's actually going to take you a week to do, and then go, ooh, that's a little over my head, or ooh, I'm not really learning to, I don't want to learn 100% of that, then it's not on us, it's on you. So take the time, do it slow, find out what works for you, and what works today doesn't work tomorrow. So don't get discouraged, learn the new thing, and then go back to what you learned today, because a week or 10 days or 20 days from now, it's going to work again. So, you know, all of it's knowledge. Anyway, I'm ranting, but it's all knowledge. Take it all in. We're telling you everything. You just gotta, you gotta pull it out.
Be one person in here says exactly like what I try to do. I listen to Holly, I listen to Chris, I listen to Craig, you know, Mike, Brent, several people. Just be a sponge and test and learn. And then Patrick says William would have to freaking swim the Pacific to attend that contest. William don't swim. So DeCasio, just want to say I landed a $1,500 a month account using the GMB course. Awesome.
Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
What I want to hear.
Congrats.
You know,
that's amazing, bro.
That's awesome.
Let's see here. Wizards only, wizards by doing learning every day. It's 9:06. We're going to go ahead and get off here. I have a freaking booked calendar. I got like, I don't even know, probably 15 appointments today. Yeah, I got
Hey guys, 15, so I'd like to leave it on this. You see the last things he mentioned, right? Do it, implement. Learning is only part of it, and don't get caught up in learning too much, because if you're learning but not implementing, if you're not learning on one monitor and doing on the other monitor, you're doing yourself a great injustice. You got to take action and then figure out and learn more, right? Like don't try to learn everything. Oh, I'm gonna do this. Oh, I need to learn this, because there's always gonna be something to learn. Always. Remember that.
And I'm constantly reading, but what I like to do is I'll read and then I implement what I learn in that book. And then I'll read another book and then I implement. Just, you know, I'm besides learning for everybody else, I constantly read. So if y'all want to know anything, y'all should read to implement certain things, especially with agencies and scaling your agency. You know, I could give you at least 5 or 6 books I would tell you to start out with. So message me and support, and I'd gladly help you. Thank you guys. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Brent. And we will see y'all again next week.
Yeah, there's some people in the chat asking if they can reach out to Mike and I. Please, please do.
Yeah.
CTR Geeks.
I just put the excuse me, sorry, Brent. Yeah, I just dropped the Facebook link in there.
Awesome.
And whenever we upload this on the back end, I'll take the group link and I'll say join the group here, because we always push out that too.
Holly, thank you. It was a pleasure. Thanks, everybody.
Have a great night. Peace and love.